Hello everyone, my name is Abhilash Aswal, and in this video I'd like to share my views on what to do if you did not get a PPO. First of all, do not be disheartened. Despite giving our 100%, there are many reasons beyond our control because of which a PPO isn't offered. And this year there is one more. But we need to put that behind us and be prepared for the upcoming challenge. I'll discuss some key areas where you should focus on for your final placements. So let's get started. The first and the most important thing to do is to update your resume. There must be a fixed template followed by your college as instructed by the PlaceCom that is mandatory for all. But I'd recommend you to prepare one more version that is not text heavy. Choose power words and action words to highlight your achievements and remove unnecessary information just to fill one page. Put relevant skills on the top for the job that you are applying for. Do not list irrelevant skills like a resume for a financial analyst shouldn't include marketing certifications. Now I'd recommend a cheat code for filling your resume with interesting phrases. Go to LinkedIn, search for an ideal job that you will apply for. Let's say it's marketing manager. Now see what are the job requirements and identify keywords from there and incorporate these in your resume. Hopefully you will be able to beat the ATS system with this trick. Do mention your education background with emphasis on your qualifying degree and try to have only one line for the additional information section where you should describe your hobbies, your interests, any volunteer work, and put this at the bottommost part of your resume. Chances are that the discussion might revolve around this only. But aside from all of that, do not lie blatantly on your resume. The interviewer will catch you and immediately strike off your candidature. At the end, you should have two resumes which may look like these. One important aspect of any resume is to be aware of every word that you have written in the resume. The interviewer might pick on to some particular words and you never know, your entire interview will revolve around that particular word. So be assured of what you have written in each line of your resume. Second, seek help from your friends. Your friends will tell you the most brutal truth about your resume and will help you in structuring it. If they know you well, they might even help you and tell you what important milestones in your life could have been highlighted in a better way. Seek review from at least 5 people. Third, have a resume tailored for every domain you wish to apply for. You should not have a general CV for every domain. It's like applying to the position of a product manager or analytics with the same CV, though both require a different set of skill set. Also, it will come in handy to distinguish you from a pool of candidates. So invest time in building CVs for all domains that you are interested in. Fourth, the alternate version of the CV that I recommend in the first point comes here. You will need that to send across to your network for referral. If a human is reading a CV, he'd prefer a light version with an eye for particular skills. However, the text-heavy CV should be used for the ATS. Off-campus placements will play a major role this year and the referrals will also come in handy. So you don't want to send a robotic resume you made for your placements. By creating a tailored resume shows that you made an extra effort as compared to your other peers. For the preparation, planning is the first step. Have a schedule divided according to your preferences of domain in which you are applying to. Ideally, devote maximum time to those subjects in which you want to pursue a career, but do not neglect any subjects. Many subjects in MBA are interlinked, and that leaves a possibility of those questions being asked in an interview. Planning will come in handy as it will help you keep track of your progress as well. The most important source of information will be news. So keep updated. Don't have an overload. Try to keep only a few sources. Those who prefer newspapers, make sure you cut out good articles and keep them handy in a book. It will come in handy to revise these in a short span of time. Focus on topics around geopolitics, international trade, coronavirus, Chinese industry, and the Vocal for Local campaign for preparing group discussions and interview points. Don't focus on memorizing facts, but form an opinion on it that is rationally argued and you tend to believe in it. Also, practice mock group discussions as much as possible. Try to form a small group of people, around 5 to 6, to hold at least 2 group discussions weekly. The more the merrier. Try to focus mainly on general knowledge topics, case-based topics, and leadership-focused topics. Once in a while, you can try the abstract topics to bring diversity to the group. HR questions will be your Bible, and they should be devoted maximum time. While formulating answers to these questions, retrospect the most important milestones in your life and have a script ready around those. So you don't have to memorize the answers to these questions, but rather you can recall these milestones and use them efficiently. I would emphasize on focusing on HR questions with maximum time, because no matter the organization, you will be asked these questions. For technical questions, have a module prepared with basics of these topics. These topics should cover whatever you have learned in the last 15 months or so, and needless to say, if you are applying for a finance role, you will be asked technical questions. A good source to identify technical questions asked is to try googling the query interview questions for a credit research analyst or whichever post you wish to apply for. You will find many technical interview experiences, and this will help you structure your technical documents. Next, give mock interviews before you appear in the final placements. Try to ask your friends or your batchmates who you confide in for at least an hour to take your interview and give feedback. Ask them to not go easy on you. This will boost your confidence and you will be better prepared for any interview. Remember, these are also MBA candidates, so you cannot get away with gas. You need to be on point with your content in order to win over the interview. This will be a great motivation to study hard for the interview as well. Honestly, let your guard down and ask for help. There is no shame in going out of the way if it improves you. Try to have at least 5 interviews along with feedback to get a flavor of the placements. Last, make notes of everything. Whatever you study, if you have learned something new or different, keep it in a separate document. These points will be your differentiators in the group discussions and interviews. Mostly statistical figures and industry insights form these points. You can find these points in many editorials or CMIE reports, but the one easy source is the pre-placement talk. Any leader who comes in will bring in some insight from his industry. So make sure you keep an eye for that point, and probably if you have the opportunity, repeat that viewpoint in the interview or the group discussion. This would most likely fall in the vision of the company as well. It is paramount that you stay in touch with the people you worked during a summer internship. There might be a million reasons why you did not get a PPO. Some are consequential to your performance and many are not. So if you stay connected in good spirit, chances are your paths might cross again in the future, and this time things may turn in your favor. So always stay connected, because you never know when an opportunity strikes. Many engagement groups are available on Telegram or LinkedIn, where people continuously discuss latest updates in the domain. I have joined several marketing and data science groups as myself, and I feel they share plenty of resources that help me learn new things quickly. Make sure you update your resume on recruitment portals like iimjobs and naukri.com. Keep in mind that a normal recruitment process takes around 3 months. 1 month to apply and interview, because there are multiple rounds, then mostly 2 months of notice period after successful offers. So if you're looking for a job to start in March, you have to start applying in January. Keep that in mind. Now, corporate competitions come as an underdog when it comes to finding a job. Many say there's a low success rate in converting PPIs for corporate competitions. However, I feel there's a big opportunity if you find the right key to crack competitions. Participating in corporate competitions also comes with multiple benefits. Like for instance, many case problems which are provided by companies are the problems that they are currently facing. So these cases are highly relevant with what is going around in the industry. Secondly, many cases which are asked here in the competitions are repeated during placements, as companies in the similar domain might face similar problems to deal with. So it might come in handy to quickly come up with an answers on the spot if you have spent a considerable amount of time in researching about the problem. Thank you for watching this video. I hope the suggestions help you in your final placements. If you have any doubts, feel free to connect with me through LinkedIn or Telegram. All the best for your final placements.